I want to show one more method for generating a base mesh for these glasses. So with my head here, I'm just going to duplicate it, and then let's hide the other one, just this one picked, and let's come down to our subdivision levels here. Sometimes this works better with it fully smooth, other times it works better to drop it down, and then you'll work from that. I'm going to drop it down and try that first. So from there I'm just going to delete the higher subdivision levels from it. And then I could try closing it off, but I think I'm just going to work on this, just this rough geometry here. So I want to generate some topology with the Move Topology brush, and so, or sorry, not Move Topology, but the just the topology brush. So press B to get that, and then T, and then look for the topology brush, so BTO. There. And the way this works is you can draw out these lines, curves on the model, and so it holds to that, and then you can draw some cross, and I'll just do a quick demonstration here to get those, and then when you click on the model, it adds some geometry in based on what you're sketching, and the thickness of it is based on the brush size. So let's undo that, and I can make my brush size a bit bigger, and then click on it. See, I can get a lot thicker geometry. And this is pushing into the head a little bit, so I want to be careful not to get too thin on this. So I think I had it set to around 24. Let's just type that in. Click on that, and yeah, this looks pretty good. Maybe a little bit thicker. 28. All right, yeah, and I can always use the Z modeler brush and push things in if I need to. So I'll just back out of all that. So I want to just kind of make just pretty much a visor across here. So let's start over here, come out and around, and just let it travel down the back here. It's probably a bit far, but that's okay. And then let's do another one, say right in here, around the nose, and then up, and then back. Yeah, that's looking good. Let's draw one down across the front here. And actually, I think to make, to even up the geometry a little bit on this, I'm going to draw kind of across. See how that looks. Now it's going to push into that eye socket there, and in fact anything else I draw in here is going to do that, so it might be a good idea to close off those eye sockets. Let's see what I can try it. We can see what happens. Do it really rough here to start, and let's see, that's probably enough. Maybe a little bit more, one more. Yeah, that's looking good. Let's click that. Actually, yeah, that's quite nice. So let's back out of that and see what happens if I add that cross piece on here. Let's get a little bit more centered. It's going to smoosh it in some, but I think it's going to be okay. One more. Alright, that's looking good. So let's click off of there. Yeah, it smooshed in a little bit, but not a problem there. So while this is, so it's got the whole head mask, let's split it out. So let's do that, and we'll come to geometry, or sorry, subtool, split unmask points, and that will then make this thing its own subtool up here. So let's switch to that, and then let's hide that head, and let's see about getting some of that moved out. So switch to move to logical and just push stuff out. Good there. Let's pull these guys in a little bit. Good. Some of these push back in. All right, looking pretty good there. Bump these guys up. Not quite so denty looking. All right, looking good. And if we turn polyframes on, you'll notice that it has creased these edges on here, so that if you subdivide this, so let's hide those again, Control D, 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 you get fairly nice crisp edges out along that. So let's undo that. And if it ever doesn't do that, you can come down to the crease here. So I'm just going to uncrease all, and you can see that because I still have the polygroups on there, differentiation on it, I can I can crease PG, and that'll crease along the polygroups. And also, if I want to maintain these edges up here, I can switch to my Z modeler brush and mouse over an edge, and let's right click and tell it to crease here, and click on that, and it'll crease that edge, and let's crease that edge, and let's divide it a few times and see how it does back here. We may want to do some creasing back here. Control D, D, D. No, I actually kind of like the way that's rounding over. So yeah, and so you can see that it holds that. Some other ways to control that are, let's get back to this. If you come over here to our crease level, before we crease anything, let's undo all that. Let's set our crease level down here to say 1. Then let's crease PG, and then let's crease that edge and this edge. And what happens with that crease level is when I subdivide it once, you see it holds it, but then if I subdivide it again, now it starts to smooth it out, and will continue to do so. So you can control that. So whatever crease level you set this to, I set it to 1. So with 1 subdivision level, it didn't affect it. Second subdivision level though started to smooth it, and so on. So you can keep doing that. So you can get some relatively soft edges with it. But I kind of like for right now, I'm going to work with just those fairly crisp edges. So let's undo all that. Turn it back on. Make sure we undo all the creasing. Let's set this crease level up just a little bit, so maybe 3. And that way, if I get past that, then it'll start to smooth. So again, crease PG, and then crease that edge, and Control D, 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 D. There, it starts to do it. Yep. And so you get kind of those rounded edges. So undo back to this. Makes it a lot easier to work with. And how am I doing on time? Yeah, this is probably a good spot to stop.